Hey, my lovely audience. Today I am going to read this amazing classic fairy tale, The Wild Swans. So let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a king. He was a widower. He had 11 sons and one daughter. Soon, the king remarried. However, the stepmother did not love the children as she was jealous of them. The queen could cast magic spell on others. One day, she made up her mind to cast magic spell on the children. The children were playing in the garden adjoining the palace. With a view to turn all the royal children into wild swans, the queen made an utterance to cast the magic spell. Then the queen rushed to the window. She saw only 11 swans soaring high over the palace. Princess Elsa was inside the palace. When she came to know the fate of her 11 brothers, she ran away from the palace to hide herself in the thick forest, lest her stepmother would cast magic spell on her too. In the forest, she sat by the side of a pool. She was sad, she wept, she wished to see her brothers in their true form. When she got tired, she fell asleep. When she awoke the next morning, she was astonished to find 11 swans flying towards her. As the swans flew by Elsa, she visualized her eldest brother when she shed his feathers. He said that she was very lonely without him. He further expressed her wish to make them free from the magic spell cast by the queen. Elsa's brother wished to take her away from the forest where the villainous stepmother might find her. He quickly explained his strategy to his sister Elsa and brothers before he was transformed once more into a swan. Soon the swan flew away to return a little later with strings and cords which they wove into a hammock. At the earliest opportunity, Princess Elsa climbed into that and they flew away. The swan settled her in a safe place and bid farewell. They told her not to be scared as the magic spell would be over soon. A gentle voice of a beautiful fairy told Elsa that her brothers were speaking the truth. She advised Elsa to weave a coat of green leaves for each of her brothers. In order to break the spell, she further advised her not to utter a word till her work was done. After that, the fairy disappeared. Elsa's heart was filled with new hope. Soon after, the princess started to collect the magical green leaves. She was absolutely quiet when she wove the leaf into cloth. She was in a gay mood. Her heart was very light. From early morning till late evening, she worked very carefully. While riding through the forest one day, a prince saw the princess at work. He spoke to her, but she did not answer even a single word to him. The prince fell deeply in love with the princess, so he took her back to live with him in the palace. Elsa continued to weave her magical coats. However, she always kept mum and did not utter a word. Time passed. The crafty queen came to know that Elsa was living in a royal palace and the prince wished to marry her. With a view to finish the young princess, the queen traveled to meet the prince. The queen told the prince that the young princess, who never spoke and was even busy in weaving, was a great danger to him and his people. She further advised the prince to kill the princess. The young princess had vowed to be silent. Accordingly, she could not say anything to anybody, even to defend herself against her cruel stepmother's lie. The prince got a strange tower built to protect her from the anger of his courtiers. She continued to live in that tower where she would weave the coats which would set her brothers free. The brothers visited her and requested her to speak and defend herself. The princess did not speak a word as her main object was to defend her brothers. By repeating arguments, the cunning and the cruel queen succeeded in convincing the prince to kill the princess. The brothers of the princess flew down to her as she was being carried through the city streets. Promptly, the princess flung the magic coats over them. Except one, the other coats were completely stitched. At the same instant, the spell broke down and the brothers changed into young men against from swans. However, the youngest brother had one swan's wing as his coat had only one sleeve. That day, the princess was free to speak. She informed the prince about the spell her crafty stepmother had cast on her brothers. The prince begged her to forgive him. She forgave him as she had loved him for a very long time. Then, the stepmother of the princess was ordered to leave the country. Her magic powers were also taken back from her. The princess got married to the prince. There was feasting and rejoicing throughout the length and breadth of the land. Thereafter, the couple lived merrily for a long time. They even recalled the unhappy days which had passed over. The end. So, the moral of the story is that the truth will always set you free. And if you really enjoyed reading along with me, do subscribe my channel Read Aloud Kids for more fun and interesting stories. Thank you. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.